welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those out there that do not know me, my name's Alicia and I'm a special events professional, and I help newly engaged couples plan and design their wedding just like a pro, with most importantly without breaking the bank. So in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to plan your wedding during COVID. Okay, a lot of places have they're back open and stuff, but you know, a lot of your guests may not necessarily feel comfortable coming to your wedding because of COVID, and you know, their immune systems and stuff like that. So it's all up to what your people are kind of saying, like, especially if they're on social media, how are they operating? Or say that you've already sent out your wedding planning, your invitations and stuff, and people are like, I don't know, how many people are you planning on inviting? And that might be a popular question that you may get. How many people are attending? You know, especially people that are kind of like on the edge and unsure. How many people do you plan on attending your wedding? Because, you know, I'm afraid of catching COVID, or I can't, you know, catch COVID because of my immune systems, or they just may, you know, want to ask without actually going into detail. So kind of evaluate who you have going, you know, who you planning on inviting, and how also, again, pay attention to what you hear, how you, you know, see people out, you know, doing stuff, because people put, you know, oh, I stay in the house nowadays because of COVID or stuff like that. But having a virtual wedding is perfectly okay. Okay, there's nothing wrong with having a virtual wedding. There's nothing wrong with doing a setup at your house, you know, creating a backdrop is perfectly okay. That's just the world we live in today, honestly. And, you know, especially if your budget is not up there, you know, not high, having a virtual wedding may not be a bad option for you. But if you're, you know, you want to have an in-person wedding, what I would probably do is just like you don't want to exclude anybody, but you don't want to make it stressful in the process for you. You want to kind of, like older people, you may want to kind of pretty much ask them, I'm planning on having a wedding, let's say like in the next year. Do you think that you'll be able to attend? Like, do you feel comfortable attending? That's what I would say. Do you feel comfortable attending? If not, I'm going to look into a virtual option. You know, I'll give you instructions on how to get set up and stuff like that. And that way you're still able to view the wedding, you know, safely from home. You know, some people may, oh, that's perfect. Or, you know, what? No, I'm going to be there in person. Don't worry about me. But it's kind of like one of those things, because I work at a nationally accredited college, and a lot of my events recently have been getting canceled. But we just had an event, you know, last year we had events. Now people, since the cases are starting to go back up, are starting to cancel. So it's kind of like you just never type a no thing. Keep in contact with your venue throughout the process, because a lot of people have lost out on money because their venue just suddenly closed. Their venue can't host or house large weddings, or they're not having weddings. You can look into having a smaller wedding, cutting down your guest list. You can also look into again, virtual option, but really nobody does not know. But you want to make sure that you get wedding insurance, and call those people up, ask them questions. If my venue cancels, if my venue closes, how can I protect my day with insurance with this company? And see the options about that. But you want to make sure that you have wedding insurance. You don't want to go through this wedding planning process and then boom, your wedding venue cancels, your wedding venue closes. You don't want to lose out on all that money. You have to plan, you know, think ahead of time. You can't just think, oh, I got the wedding venue of my choice, but you never know what their finances are. You never know what may happen to that venue. They could have overbooked, closed, You know, no more weddings and none of that stuff. You never know, but you want to make sure that you protect the day with wedding insurance. But back to the COVID thing, if you want to have in-house, make mask mandatory. Have a basket at the door. As soon as they walk in, they get stopped because they see a basket there and have a sign, masks are mandated. And you know, have disposable masks right there, have hand sanitizer stations right there. And if you want to go that extra route, have people checking people's temperatures, so that way you kind of stop people at the door. And you know, it's really, really kind of like one of those things, because you know that can kind of cause some friction. But this is the world that we live in, so you can have mask at the door, hand sanitizer, somebody checking temperatures, and kind of declining anybody that has a temperature that meets, you know, the COVID guidelines. But I know a lot of places are starting to lift the mask mandate, but you still want to keep the option available for those that are not playing with that COVID stuff. They don't, no, we're wearing masks. So I don't care if we're the only people up in here, we gonna wear our mask and use hand sanitizer. And you also want to have like little bottles of lotion too, because you know the alcohol in the hand sanitizer can really dry out your hands and stuff. What's something else you can, once they lift this mask mandate, people are not going to social distance at all. That's going to be a thing of the past. So I wouldn't even go through the trouble of doing so. But if you're having like a small event where you can kind of, you know, space people out, go for it. But if you having a medium-sized wedding or a large size, you can forget that whole thing going out the door, because it's going to be a whole bunch of people mingling with somebody, and unfortunately, I hate to even say it, but somebody is going to catch COVID from your wedding, because it's you know, you can't social distance in no large setting. You cannot social distance, and you know, some people don't believe in COVID, and some people don't, you know, they don't follow the mask mandate rules, they don't follow none of that stuff. But sad to say, they're having a large event, somebody is bound to catch COVID, and it's nothing that you can really do. You can space people out, have these seating charts, have the masks, have the hand sanitizer, you know, have them checking temperatures, but people don't want to social distance, so it's not like nothing that you can really do to really prevent it from happening. You know, hopefully everybody's vaccinated, but that's a whole nother wishy-washy thing. So it's just like, unfortunately, somebody may be like, I call it COVID from your wedding. You know, you can't be offended. You can't be like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. This is the world that we live in, especially when people want to have things and people want to attend things, and there's no social distancing. You can't social distance, you know, hundreds of people. You know, it's impossible. As favors, I would skip anything that's not useful. I will have like individually wrapped candies. You want to make sure that you have attendants attending your wedding. You don't want to just leave things out in the open. You know, you want to kind of, if you do hire staff, make it mandatory for them to wear a mask. Okay, you want to make sure that they're protected, that they're, you know, that they're wearing masks, and that they wear gloves when serving and handling food, which they should be doing anyway. But you know, you want to enforce like, hey, please wear a mask, you know, or it's up to you to wear a mask. You know, give them that option, and then provide them with disposable masks. And if you do decide to invest in disposable masks, get black ones. Black, you know, is much better than those ugly blue ones. That's just my opinion. You know, the blue ones, they don't really go with everything, whereas black, you know, black goes with everything. And then you can't really, you know, trying to plan a in-person COVID wedding. People are going to want to take pictures with everybody. They're going to be hugging and kissing up on people, so you can't prevent it. So you can put the, again, hand sanitizer out, the mask out, you know, do certain stuff, but you can't really prevent it, you know. So that's all I have to really say for today. Just start planning normally. You know, you want to invest in, like I said, hand sanitizer, mask, and a thermometer, and batteries for the thermometer, and day of staff. But don't kill yourself trying to, oh, I don't want nobody to catch COVID. It's the world that we live in. And you know, you could try to offer up an option for like people, you know, if you want to stay home and watch my wedding virtually, I'm perfectly okay with that. But if you want to come in house, you know, this is how many people are attending, because some families may not be like, no, that's too many people. Okay, that's too many people. And you know, don't take offense if somebody's asking you questions about your wedding, especially if it's like, how many people, you know, we're kind of like scared, you know, to come. Is, you know, still have your wedding live streamed in like a personal room that people can get like the link and go and you know, view your wedding that way. So it's up in the air, but you know, people are doing it. You can have your wedding outside if you choose to have it outside. You can have it inside. You know, there's many different options for you to have your wedding. You can still plan it normally, but you know, some people may not want to come, but you could still offer them that option of watching it virtually and then having somebody tend to the video or your camera to live stream it. You can still plan normally for in person. Be mindful of the numbers. Set a RSVP date and sticks with it. If somebody has not given you a yes or no on that date, do one courtesy call, and it's either you make the decision for them, yes or no, because you need to move forward with your planning process, and you know, you got to keep the ball rolling. But that's pretty much it. You can't, like I said, I'm a special events professional, so I do events in person, and I've seen events from all different sizes within the past, you know, since COVID started. You know, you can depending on the size, but if the bigger the event, the bigger your wedding, the less social distancing that's going to happen. If you choose to have a smaller setting, social distancing can happen, but people are still going to be mingling, and COVID can still, you know, hop from person to person. So it's up to you. If your immune system is weak, then I would highly recommend that you have a virtual wedding to protect yourself and to protect others. Always offer your elders the option of staying home to view your wedding safely at home, and still send them with their favors, and you know, yeah, you know, you just want to keep people safe, but there's really I don't know what to do, how to plan it. But if you need help planning, if you never planned a virtual event before, I do have a course. I'll drop the link below. But still, just plan normally. That's all I can say. Just plan your wedding normally. If you need a wedding planning timeline, it'll be down in the link below. Wedding planning templates, it'll be down below. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I hope that you planned a very safe and fun wedding despite COVID being around and still being around. Click the link in the bio and get your wedding planning started, okay? So I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a nice day. Click the link below. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. Share. And again, I'll see you in the next video.